What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the TheDomCast, episode 15. I am here with my co-host, Eric. Eric, say what's up.
What's up?
Yeah, if you didn't know, if you missed episode 14, I do have a co-host now. We were talking about that for a couple of weeks before, and I've tried to set the audio up this week so it doesn't sound like I'm talking through like a potato can, because our voices were stacked up on top of each other last week, so hopefully the audio is a bit more enjoyable. And we got a lot to talk about. We are recording this on Wednesday of this week. What's the date today? May 21st?
22nd.
22nd already? Good God, we're already about to be in June, bro.
Yeah,
so the way this works, we drop on Saturday. We record on Wednesdays just so we can actually like have time to like edit and stuff like that. So try to keep the topics evergreen mostly, but we'll talk about some of the current NBA too, because it'll be fun to see how it actually turns out by the time Saturday rolls around. I want to kick this podcast off by saying there's this thing going around in the media now, and the reason I know is because I was in the gym this morning with my dad, and we have a friend in there. He talks about the NBA sometimes. Whatever he sees, it's like, "Yo, did you see this?" And he brought up the thing of Golden State is better without Kevin Durant. And as soon as he said it, I knew it, because this came up in our podcast last week, but it was just kind of like an aside or whatever. But it's a legitimate thing now that they swept their way to the finals. Yeah. Media is parroting it, and I just wanted to come out. I just wanted to put this to rest. They're not better. They're not better without Kevin Durant. On Twitter, I saw people posting highlight videos now of the 2016 Warriors, and they're like, "Yeah, this is the Warriors without Kevin Durant." It's like, I just wanted to put that to rest before we get into our topics. That they're more fun to watch, I think, definitely without Kevin Durant. They're not better without Kevin Durant. No team.
I think it's
this is stupid.
They also go by advanced analytics. I know Max also brought like a chart. Mm-hmm. They play more fluid. Without KD. Mm-hmm. But man, you can't be better without arguably the best player in the league. Yeah,
it's that.
I think they play. It's fun and more fluid.
Yeah, it's more fluid. Draymond plays a bigger role. Steph and Clay are gonna take more shots.
Right.
But I think people are equating like Steph Curry averaging 35 to them being better without KD. That's not what it is.
Because to my understanding, if they need a bucket for KD, just give the ball to KD.
Exactly.
Most everybody's shots come off screens.
Yeah.
And backdoor cuts. KD just get a ball if he need a bucket. That's why he do the mid range. That's why it might like it sticks sometimes, but no, they're not better.
And I can give a perfect example, so we're just not like talking in vague here. At the end, Game 7 of the 2016 Finals, they could have sorely used KD because they were looking for offense. Like Steph was on clamps, Clay wasn't making it, and they didn't have a guy to just give the ball to. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, poor them, they needed KD at that point. Right. I'm just saying to show you they're not better, because at that point, if they would have had a KD to just give the ball to, into Game 6, it wouldn't have been no drought in points.
Another thing is, the Trailblazers not the team to reference to of not needing the KD. Nobody believed the Trailblazers going to beat Warriors without KD, or with no one had. I never heard that take.
Yeah.
Besides Charles Barkley, but no one deep down that really thought Trailblazers had a chance without KD
at all.
So I don't know why people using Trailblazers as an example to justify why Warriors are better without KD. Yeah,
because I came into this Western Conference Finals like, this is the most hopeless I've been for a team as far as chances in a very long time. Like, I just looked at it and I knew just off Jump Street they didn't match up well. The Blazers, they got big men like Cantor and Lillard, who they're good on offense, but fam, what are they supposed to do on defense against the Warriors? Like, where's their place?
Yeah,
you put them in that pick and roll.
Zero faith.
At all. So we can go ahead and transition to that, because last time we did the podcast, I believe the Blazers were not swept, and now they are swept. They are out of the playoffs. Talking about giving Dame the super max and everything, but I just wanted to say, like, it looks strange. I mean, like I said, I'm a Dame fan or whatever, but they look kind of crazy because first of all, they blew 3 17-point leads. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah,
3 17-point leads.
That's crazy.
3. How you blow 3? Okay, but that's not the craziest part, because it's Golden State, right? We know about third quarter. Golden State.
Is all third quarters?
Pretty much, like
third quarters. Yeah, that's scary, man.
Talk to me when you survive a third quarter from the Warriors.
That's crazy.
But the thing about it that looks crazy though is, like, the Blazers, they spend all this time like throughout the years kind of throwing shade Golden State's way. I feel all this thing about like, oh, I'm never gonna sell out for a super team.
Right.
The whole thing with the podcast happened with CJ and KD last year. But like, we get this year and like Steph had hurt his finger, Iguodala missed the last game, KD wasn't there, Cousins wasn't there. They even gave this is one guy that sits on their bench that I'd never seen in the game, but they used him last game. So I just think Golden State kind of look crazy. I mean, Portland look crazy right now.
That also goes to the segment about supermaxes and what do Trailblazers do now? Yeah. Because supermax is well deserving to certain players, but the way it does to your salary cap is crazy. Because if you sign down to the supermax, knowing that you can never surpass Warriors, you are gonna be like a good third seed, fourth seed, but don't go nowhere. Do you really want to give Dame the max, even though he's deserving? And
this is the rock. That's the rock in the hard place that you're at. That if you're a team, though, right? Because what are you gonna do? Not give Dame the supermax and let him become a free agent? Imagine Portland. What does Portland do for the next 5 years without Dame? Like if he ends up leaving in free agency, now you're back in rebuilding. So I think if the player doesn't come and say I'll take a pay cut or whatever, if they want that money. I think a lot, especially because the Supermax was created to help small market teams keep their guys, right? So, small market teams are kind of rocking a hard place. They got to keep that guy if by any means necessary. And Portland's capitalizing on that right now because, Lillard said he wants to stay.
I think reported yesterday that it's not even a question. That It is that what do you do with your team knowing that you went to the Western Conference Finals, you beat a weekend, quote, Golden State Warriors, and y'all still got swept. So what's the plan?
Yeah, Sub did ask that question, did they?
Yeah,
that's the thing. It just seems like there's certain teams every single year that they're never free agent destinations, no matter what. Yeah. I've never heard rumors of this guy's going to Portland. I've never heard that, but I don't know their salary cap situation off the top of my head. But I never heard this big name's going here. You just never hear those things,
one
right?
Portland fan, personally.
One Portland fan?
And he said he's the fan because of Brandon Roy. I ain't know Brandon Roy had that type of pull.
Oh yeah, he did. Of course, Brandon Roy.
They have fans like
Brandon Roy's one of those players we're all nostalgic about. Fam, we wish he had him because he was going toe to toe with people back before his knees exploded. But
okay,
you don't remember Brandon Roy?
I remember Brandon Roy. I just don't know 2019. You're still a fan.
I mean, it's been a while now.
Right.
But maybe
I didn't know Brandon Roy had that type of cachet where I'm a Portland fan now.
Yeah, I mean, for 11 years, you stay loyal, I guess. I came in with the Celtics big three. I'm always gonna be a fan.
The guy, the friend that I know, he tried to compare him to T-Mac. I'm like, all right, fan, relax.
He what?
Tried to compare him to T-Mac. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I get it. In this is Brandon Roy was that dude. He was that dude scoring, but T-Mac he was one of the best scorers ever when he was.
But to get back to I don't know what Blazers does. You're right. It's not a free agent destination.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right. Gonna be one of them teams that's the teams that you're good, but you're not gonna go nowhere.
And I think the thing probably Portland fans would be mad at us for right now is they're gonna say, wait a minute. We just made it to the Western Conference Finals. We lost to the Warriors. Everyone loses to the Warriors. So they probably say it's not like we weren't close. My thing is, though, I feel like Denver would have gave Warriors a better chance.
I think Denver would have won the game.
Yeah, and I also think that the Blazers, I don't think they would have beaten Houston either if it was Houston or the Warriors. So I kind of think Portland overachieved a bit this year.
I do believe they overachieved. Out of those three teams that had potential, the Nuggets, the Rockets, or the Blazers, I think Blazers was the less talented of the three.
Yeah.
And plus, they was higher seeds in the past too, and they still came up short.
And it's gonna continue to be that way too. I guess I have a question. It's gonna continue to be that way because I think Lillard is. We always talk about these players being loyal, right? But Lillard is clearly loyal to a fault right now. I mean, it's what he wants to do with his career. He said there's more important things than championship rings. But what do you think about what he's doing? Because the way it is right now, he's at management's mercy. They're going to come to the playoffs every year without the right pieces to actually make a championship run.
I just think we will know for certain after his career is over was a good thing or bad thing. Let's say he do win a championship in Portland. Oh, he had a perfect career. He did it. But if he never wins, then the ending's a little different. So I like the loyalty, Giannis' loyalty right now to the Bucks. I like.
But the Bucks have actually done things to Giannis couldn't shoot, so they went out and got him shooters everywhere, and they might be in the finals.
So I do like the loyalty, especially for the small market teams. It is that when you start losing consecutively a lot, and on the wrong side of 30, and you don't got no type of postseason success, It's like, fam, you gotta start. Like, if I know what I said years ago, but fam, I ain't trying to be a Charles Barkley out here.
So the thing with Lillard is, I mean, if he does win the championships like his turn out being like the fan favorites, because it's just I compare his to like Dirk Nowitzki. It's like Absolutely. Dirk stayed, through everything, took pay cuts, and that one championship he got is worth more than a lot of people's championships.
Like multiple championships.
Yeah, exactly.
It's different when you win a champ for the home team.
The team you were drafted to. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying it's kind of admirable having one jersey.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. Yeah. Yeah, I want to make it clear for anybody who has questions. Like, I don't necessarily 100% agree with Lillard's approach, but I mean, I respect it because, like, I don't want another situation after this whole thing with Kevin Durant is over with the Warriors. I don't want another situation where we got damn near like 5 All-Stars on the same team. Right, so I respect it if a player is saying, I don't want to go that route, I want to compete. I fully respect Lillard's decision. I just wish that he wasn't disloyal to a fault because, like, they just got swept by the same team they've been losing to forever. Loss is not that much better. I feel like there just has to be some pressure on management to like, yo, let's do something
it's
here.
It's like he blindly loyal.
Yeah, I feel
if he actually put pressure, like I want to join the team, but hey, y'all gotta do something. Then I feel like the management will make an effort to get the right pieces around him.
Because the thing is with Kevin Garnett, I did a video on him, so I had some background knowledge. Back in the year that they made it to the conference finals in 2004. Garnett didn't really sign an extension with him, even though he loved it. Minnesota, he wanted to be there. He didn't sign that extension until Minnesota went out and got him Sam Cassell, Latrell Sprewell. Like they redid that team, and he was like, "All right, cool. Like, send me the contract."
I haven't seen it, but I don't see like, damn, it's not really pressing him like.
Yeah. He just like they just lost, and he like Supermax. Let's get it.
He said no question, I'll resign. But like,
so.
Because y'all, this backcourt plus others is not going to work.
And the more interesting thing about this, because the fans' question was like, where do the Blazers go from here? Even if Kevin Durant leaves the Warriors this summer, it's not over. It's not like the Blazers. You still got to deal with Golden State.
Matter of fact, you still got to get in line because I don't think you next team up even.
Yeah, you're not. Denver's gonna have Michael Porter Jr. back next year.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, Michael Porter and Nikola Jokic, and Michael Porter actually lives up to what we were seeing before. So they
gym, man.
Yeah, so like that's huge for Denver. Houston is not going anywhere. Harden in them, as long as Harden got some people, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So like it's not like the Warriors can disband or just let KD go and it's all good. Like no, y'all got to deal with multiple. So I mean whatever though. I respect. Lillard. I respect.
Yeah, I really don't know what they can do because you can get rid of CJ McCollum, but like, fam,
and I doubt they want to do that.
Get everything equal back.
Yeah, because he's the one like real consistent good piece next to him. And again, Portland fans will probably be mad because they'll look and say, "Oh, well, we didn't have Nurkic. Look how far we went and stuff like that." But I'm talking about how they match up against these teams deep into the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't feel like Myers is enough to offset your postseason.
Yeah, because what they did, the reason that Lillard's field goal percentage nosedive is because they trapped him. Like Denver started trapping him. Right. Warriors started trapping him, and it's because of the personnel.
Yeah, Myers Leonard.
Yeah. And it was because of the personnel. So yeah. That's how I'm feeling about Lillard. Yeah. So I guess we can go ahead and switch over to the East Coast. We had a fan here that asked, has your opinion changed on Giannis after how he has performed against the Raptors? Because obviously they were dominating the first two games, and the last two have been sort of a struggle. He hasn't been like Giannis. And
this also ties in the question on get the best player in the league have no jump shot. And I think it ties in well because it just seems like if Giannis cannot hit the shots, it's like he's limited, man.
Yeah, it's difficult. It seems like sometimes he'll be limited to the spin move when he's going downhill.
Yeah, the spin move
and the Euro step.
He only got two moves.
If those aren't going, and see, this is why I refuse at this point. I didn't give in, even though Giannis is my MVP this year. I refuse to call Giannis a better player than Kevin Durant. It's not there yet because what I saw last night. For those of you unaware, again, we're recording on Wednesday, so Game 4 happened last night. And Toronto is building a wall on Giannis because they know he can't shoot. They'll have 3 defenders up front. Crazy. And Giannis is just kind of dribbling and like he can't create from that far out. And again, when you can do that to him, but you can't do it to a KD, to me, that's where it splits right there.
And plus, KD don't have a move. He can do anything.
Yeah, he could do anything. If you just, he can play you. See, nah.
Giannis guy, I see. All night is a spin move or the Euro.
Yeah, so my opinion has not changed to answer this fan's question. It hasn't changed on Giannis. This is what I've been saying since way back in the regular season. I said the deeper you get into the playoffs, Giannis, like, he can still, don't get me wrong, put up good nights. But it's little things like this that make the difference between them sweeping this series and them being 2-2 right now. It's the fact that they started the game plan for him. It's gotten difficult. Kawhi played Giannis for a lot of possessions. I saw some stat that they really, it wasn't just Kawhi.
He was getting help on that.
Yeah, it was help. Yeah,
nobody like it was straight.
Yeah.
Like that's you my own.
Yeah. It takes a village to stop Giannis. Right, it's not just one guy.
Another thing is, again, the fact that he can't shoot, so he do kick out. They're not hitting sometimes.
Yeah, if they're not hitting, then if his teammates ain't hitting, that's
Brogdon was horrible last night. Only one that really came through was Middleton. Bledsoe, I don't know what's up with Bledsoe. You got to figure some things out. Yeah. Of course, I think we assumed this much. We know that he don't have a shot, so when things get tough and he can't, penetrate, gonna be some issues.
Yeah, exactly. And it's difficult right now because we're heading into the Warriors are sitting and waiting for the winner of the series. But I honestly don't believe the Warriors are going to have that much of a problem with either of these teams.
No.
On one hand, the Raptors, when they're on, like they have been these last two games, are really good. But Kawhi, his knee's starting to hurt. What is that? It's like he got a leg injury.
He came down.
He's starting to limp. I love Kawhi. I'm all for the robot memes. I participate in the robot memes actively. But he can only do so much, and when you get to Golden State and they get Kevin Durant back, it's gonna be tough because they've leaned on him so heavily throughout this playoffs.
It seemed like the last couple of games hurt both of their cases of even competing with Warriors.
Yeah, it's hurt because I wonder the only thing is though, it's all about matchups, and with Golden State, let's just say a hypothetical Golden State and Milwaukee matchup. I don't think Golden State has the same it really helps that the Raptors have a lot of physical, agile big men and Pascal Siakam, Ibaka. Then you have a big body with Gasol's not really down low a lot though because Brook Lopez drags him out, but the other two is what I'm talking about. So they have a lot of physical bodies.
But I'm pretty sure they can make up some defensive scheme for him.
Because Golden State don't necessarily have great personnel to execute that same thing. I think their defense can be.
Well, they don't have Kawhi. So
they don't have Kawhi, and they don't have they don't have big men is not Golden State's forte. That's not their thing. They don't have a bunch of tall bodies down there. If DeMarcus, I actually think in the Milwaukee series it would be worse for them if DeMarcus Cousins came back because of how they would go at him on defense. Really, I don't think DeMarcus Cousins helps their defensive case in the Milwaukee series. Yeah. I really don't. And pick and rolls, they're gonna go at him. I just don't think that really helps them.
It's just that's true. Is that I don't know. Bucks perimeter shooters off and on.
Yeah. Very. They're a good team when they're on, but again, it's just I'm very interested to see what Golden State would do against Giannis because it's clear that you can write a plan and try to slow them down, and once that happens, you see the series totally flipped because he's not
I know
dropping 30.
He getting a Shaq comparison, but Shaq didn't play in 2019.
He
played in the era where you needed post players.
Yeah.
I just feel like if Giannis can't get to that paint, man, he looked kind of wild. I remember last game he had a horrible game, but he had 23 rebounds and all this.
I actually didn't realize. I heard it, but it didn't register. 23.
But he only had 12 points. But,
yeah. So that we can.
Okay. With that being said, do you still got Bucks winning this?
Well, my original prediction was the Raptors. Right. We got here, and that was my prediction before the playoffs. Thing that changed obviously is the Raptors hit playoff mode in the Sixers series, and sometimes Kawhi looked like he was by himself a little bit.
Right.
And we get to this series, and now Kawhi is limping around. Yeah. So it's hard for me to imagine still the series is tied. It's going back to Milwaukee. Milwaukee is home court advantage. It's still hard for me to imagine that the Raptors pull this out with Kawhi.
You get production from Kawhi Lillard now.
Yeah. See, I told you.
I'm super sarcastic, but he is showing up.
Yeah. It could literally go either way right now. It's a game-by-game basis. But if I had to pick, I'm not going to cop out. I'm still going to pick the Bucks. Just because.
I got the Bucks. It just feel like they've been playing great defense on Giannis past 2 games.
Yeah.
I don't see why that would change when they go back to Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. They got to figure a way how to. He hit 2 air free throws, man.
Yeah, see, that's the part where it's going back to your best player in the league question. That's the part where things start to look sketchy when he's consistently in the playoffs airballing free throws. It was only 2 in a row, so it's not consistently. But you see what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
You can have Giannis go to the free throw line and think man, he might airball this.
Man.
Yeah, and that's a weak part of it. What is it, by the way? What is it with big players? Why are their free throws like that? I'm wondering about that.
I think it's 2 reasons. Maybe their hand sizes, but you got Kawhi.
And I used to say that. I grew up.
Also because you play the post a lot, so you know you're mostly doing layups, dunks,
and that's true.
Big shots, so you're not really doing like the whole shooting motion, maybe.
Yeah, I guess. Like I would love somebody to do a video on that.
And that's what I'm really thinking, because they don't really shoot jump shots. They mostly like layup, dunks, putbacks.
Because I grew up believing that it was related to hand size, but like Kawhi could grip the whole damn ball with that one hand.
I saw that video where he just picked the ball off the ground.
Yeah, so I'm like, clearly it's not hand size.
I just think it's the way they play. They're not used to hitting shots, jump shots.
I guess because like you remember when Dwight Howard was here in Orlando, and I remember like how much he used to practice before the games. He would make like 90 out of 100 free throws, and he'd get into the game and shoot like 20%. Wow, and like I don't know what it is, but that's why like you go ahead.
No, I just think it's because they don't really shoot jump shots. They mostly do like those under basket plays.
You got it. Yeah, and especially in this area, for Giannis to take that next step into like being face of the league type stuff, the shot has got to come along.
You got to have at least a mid range.
Yeah, I think it's taken a bit of an improvement this year, but that's what I think this off season, he's got to get into the lab and add a mid-range game, stuff that he can create off the dribble that's not just spinning inside.
Something.
Yeah, he's got to add to
zero steps and spin moves.
Mm-hmm. You got to add to that, because I think that's the same process that LeBron went through. LeBron was never as bad a shooter as Giannis, but it was still understood when he was younger. Like, yo, you let him shoot that three, Yeah. And then he worked on that. He got pretty good at it throughout his career. He regressed in his later years, but during his prime, like he was hitting damn near 40% from three. It could be done. It could be done for Giannis. So, anyways, we're talking about Giannis possibly getting to the finals this year. Whatever's going to happen in the finals. Had a fan ask, let's see what question we're going to go to. We'll go to this one first. So, because we know the Warriors are there now. So, he's asking, will Steph Curry be top 10 all time if he wins the championship this year, plus finals MVP without KD? Is he going to be top 10 all time?
And that also goes into the question I got, if he do win to get all that. Does he surpass Magic Johnson? That goes together because Magic also is a top 10.
Yeah. So it goes together,
You can have the conversation. 5 straight finals appearances. What's his 4th?
Which people are going to discount, but
4 championships, right?
This is going to be his 4th championship.
Already surpassed LeBron in championships.
Yeah, but people are going to, it's always going to come with asterisks. Everything come with asterisks.
Revolutionized the game. We only shoot 3 because of Curry.
Because
I think he could be top 10. I think he had the resume where he
like after this year, if he win in this scenario,
if it goes perfectly, I think he can. So he can be 10.
Damn. So who he replacing out of that top 10 then?
It depends who in your top 10.
Yeah, it does depend on who's in your top 10. Because to my understanding, Steph is not that far outside of most people's top 10 right now.
Because
that's crazy, bro. That took 5 years, and he's not that far outside of most people's top 10.
That's accomplishments.
That's crazy.
Everybody in that top 10 don't got multiple MVPs.
When this is all done, when the Golden State era is done, we're going to look back and we're going to wonder, was there ever a rise that happened that quick? Because Steph was in the league from like 2010, and they just like popped up in 2015 as a league.
Now I look at Curry is Drake.
Yeah.
He's the NBA version of Drake.
Really?
Because Drake rise was so fast and big. It's like
and it lasted.
Nowhere, and he's sustaining it.
Yeah.
Most people, you got to do 20 years to have that type of accomplishments.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can have that comment. I think he can see. Yeah, he's top 10. I don't know who your 10.
Because this will be. Let me just list it. This will be 4 championships.
4 championships.
This will be a 1 unanimous MVP, but 2 MVPs overall. Mm-hmm. He's one of the. Despite what people say, he is a really good playoff performer. There was a stereotype going around before that he wasn't that good to play. He shut that shit down. This playoffs, like
absolutely.
And even before
he
that,
averaged 35, 36.
Yeah, against Portland. Yeah, and even if you looked at what he was doing before that, that was just a narrative going around.
7-3-9.
Yeah. There's a lot going. There's a lot going for Steph. There's a lot.
Probably had every 3-point record. 5 trips to the final consecutively.
Yeah.
He got everything, man.
Yeah.
The only thing he's missing is the finals.
I think the more difficult thing is just like who is he replacing at that point.
Yeah,
and that depends on who you have, because like people might have Hakeem top 10 and all that.
Yeah.
I've seen people with Oscar top 10. I don't get that.
Man.
I don't understand. Like this ain't even on the subject, but I don't understand the Oscar Robertson top 10 thing.
I think it's because
people rank him above Kobe, but I'm like, how? Y'all really believe that? I'm not going to Kobe route anyways, but yeah.
I just think because his career numbers are crazy. He do got good career numbers, but the only highlight to his career is Westbrook done it 3 times.
There was the triple double,
so
and the championship.
I just think the way how old people talk about like you had to be there, bro.
Yeah, I've seen this quote so many times from the older people who experienced it. Like Oscar Robertson was the best player I'd seen in my life. And
Jerry West said the same thing.
Yeah,
he's like, yo, this guy right here.
Yeah, no, I'm not here to disrespect the legend. I'm inquiring. Yeah, I'm inquiring. Like,
it's not they give more love to Oscar Robertson than give Bill Russell sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know about all of that because Bill Russell kind of solidified. Like,
well, I'm saying they did. Oh, he was a running power forward. He could whatever this.
Yeah.
I don't know, Bill. A big old man. He was a talented man at his time. He had great career numbers, but no.
Yeah, I don't get the top 10 in their head of like. It's just people they put him above, but sometimes I don't get it.
No,
like,
he's not better.
I'm already taking stuff over Oscar. Like, that's happening. Like, on the point guard list, on the all-time list. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not mine either.
Only 60s players I have in my top 10 is
Bill Russell,
and Wilt. That's it. Everybody else.
You rolled your eyes when you said Wilt.
Well, I had to think about it, man.
Yeah. Is Tim Duncan in your top 10?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's definitely. Wow. Yeah. Tim Duncan is in your top 10.
He has to be.
Yeah, I would say so. Because he had like the most perfect career you could possibly have, right?
Career.
Yeah, like what else could you have even? The only you know what's crazy is like normally you have great players like him, and I was just saying like every player like with Kyrie and LeBron, like they all have like an ass series sometimes or ass moment.
No.
Like the only moment that comes to mind when I think about Tim Duncan is him missing that layup in Game 7 of the Heat series. 13, yeah. That's the only blemish I know of him in a big moment. Every other big moment in his career, he was like, damn near.
I don't know his stat line for that game, but I'm pretty much he performed.
Oh no, he went off. Game 6 actually. I think Game 6 was the one where he was like crazy. He had crazy rebounds.
I think he missed the layup and missed the putback.
Yeah, it was in the same sequence, and it was on Shane Battier. I felt so bad for him. Like I felt so bad.
He came back and hit the ground.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, because he was just like it was right there. Like Oh, so speaking of that, well, we could segue into 2 different questions off that, but I'm gonna go to this one. Actually, a fan asked. This is tough, bro, especially to go on record for. It's a start bench cut. Dirk, Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan. So you played that game before, like
Tim
start
Duncan
one.
Starting.
That's okay. So Tim Duncan starting.
He's the better of the 3.
Okay, so Tim Duncan just outright better than Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
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 You don't think if Kevin Garnett was drafted in Tim Duncan place and had the rings that Kevin Garnett would rank above him? It's just a hypothetical game. Tim Duncan still would go PF, but like, he'd go regardless. Like, so okay, but I'm gonna let you answer. You started.
We can go back to that if they switch roles.
Okay.
Switch teams. But I have Tim Duncan starting because he did everything. He did his job well. Everything you asked for him, he did it.
All right. Bench cut between Dirk and KG. That's a tough one.
I'm gonna go with KG.
Yeah, I honestly have the same exact thing.
Going to KG, even though how great Dirk is Dirk, KG can score and get a stop if you
exactly. He was a all-time like defender.
Yeah,
and the psychological thing, he's talking to you too. Like, you imagine what that was like having this dude who can do both things on. Like if you're the power forward guarding Kevin Garnett that night, he can dominate you on offense and defense while he's talking mad cash. Like
he was a good passer for his size. I know at one point he led all categories in the Timberwolves and whatever. He just could do more for me if I need him to be.
Yeah, the way I would articulate it is I'm starting Tim Duncan because like even though this is just hypothetical, if we're talking about like having him on your team or whatever, like Tim's not causing no problems. He's taking pay cuts. He just he just coming to work every day doing.
He's doing a job,
and he's got all the skills too. Like I don't know if you remember the 2003 Nets series, but his stat line was like ridiculous. Like
is that the one he had like 7-8 blocks?
Like some shit that I've never seen since then. Yeah, so Tim really killed it that year. So that's how I articulate that. Then same thing as you between Kevin Garnett and Dirk. I'm just looking at both sides of the ball, and I love Dirk with all my heart. I love Dirk to death, but I got KG right there. Yeah, I'm paying KG.
Yeah, because KG like y'all need to. He's getting high. I need to get a stop for me. He's like, I got you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this is where I was going with the. So we were talking about Tim Duncan in the finals in the 2013 against the Heat. So because we had a specific question, somebody asked, whose shot was greater in the NBA Finals? Ray Allen's game 6 shot or Kyrie Irving's game 7 shot against the Eagles?
That's a hard one too.
Very tough.
It's hard because I know the LeBron, what do you call them people, like LeBron worshippers, going to say, well, if it didn't save LeBron's career, but I really believe Spurs would have won that series.
Oh, they would have. There's no question about that.
And that would have changed the whole history.
That would change that. The Heat would have broke up after that. Like, that shot would have, yeah.
But, the Kyrie on the hand, that also was historic.
That won the series, basically,
yeah. Won the series.
But one got to be greater.
Super hard. I'm going to say Ray Allen, because that would have changed history. I don't think anything would have changed if KD would never came, but that shot is that shot, Ray Allen's shot. I'm serious, Spurs would have won that.
I hate that we agree on everything because it seems like we just, but this is right. I think this has a pretty simple answer. The way I articulate it is, if Kyrie missed that shot, the game isn't over. It was tied. The game was tied. There was still time left. Right. Anything could have happened if Kyrie missed that shot. Yeah. But this is the whole thing. I think people don't understand. It's a knock sometimes when people say Ray Allen saved LeBron's legacy. Some people are just being dicks when they say that, to try to say it. But I don't think when I try to say this, it's not coming from a place of like. But
not coming LeBron played great,
and that's what I'm saying. I always bring that up. LeBron played great, but my point with that Ray Allen shot was that if it misses, somebody on Spurs get the rebound, the game is over. Like the game. So, and what happened before that, what narrative would be written, because LeBron missed the 3-pointer before that, even though he had that great game, and that was supposed to be LeBron's moment. But my thing is, Ray Allen missed that shot, game over, series over. The Heat would have been 1 of 3 at that point, I think, for championships. Would have broke up the Miami Heat that year, because the only ring they would have had would have been in the lockout year, actually. So they were talking about trading people if they were going to lose to the Spurs. There's so much that hinged on that shot. That's why I call it the greatest shot in NBA history. And it's not necessarily a knock saying that would have been very damaging, bro. That would have been very damaging if they had missed that shot.
A lot of ripple effects would have happened from that.
Yeah. But Kyrie's shot has its place in history, too, because I always look at things as a domino effect. And, like, sometimes you think, if Kyrie hadn't hit that shot, and let's say the Cavaliers don't win, then, like, Kevin Durant's not on the Warriors today. Like, there's just so much that would be different because of that one shot.
It would have changed everything. But I just feel like this is LeBron, top 3 at least, one of the greatest players. So if that would have happened, that would change his whole legacy completely.
Right.
If Ray Allen didn't make that shot. Again, LeBron, I don't know his stat line, but he played crazy.
Oh no, he killed it. He brought them back.
And I don't like to say save career, but it would have went way different.
And the reason I use the word save is because you just remember what happened a couple of years before that. First of all, they lost to Dallas. That was right on the heels of them that summer saying they was going to win 7 championships. You lose that finals against the Spurs. You won 1 championship in 3 tries. It looks bad, especially after all the cash they was talking.
And Boston get a lot of credit for getting that rebound.
I think I'm going to break down that play soon on my main channel, because people blame the Spurs for not having Tim Duncan in the game for that.
They didn't have.
But my whole thing, you probably wouldn't know this as well, but I broke down the play because I had it planned for a video. The whole thing with that play is the way it was set up. Tim Duncan would have been on the perimeter. He wouldn't have been down there to get that rebound regardless, because it was a screen, I think, that was set. So somebody would have had to cover LeBron. So Tim Duncan wouldn't have been near the rim either way in that scenario if he would have been on the floor.
Really? I'll wait for your breakdown, Kyle.
It's even I'm kind of forgetting how I broke it down.
Honestly, I did forget Tim Duncan wasn't in that play.
Yeah, he wasn't in the game. He wasn't in the game for it was just that was how Miami's roster was made up. They were playing small, I believe. Besides Chris Bosh, I think he was the biggest one on the floor. But then you had, I believe, Bade was on the floor for that one, so it's kind of difficult for Tim Duncan.
So who was the 4 and 5 for the Spurs in that play?
Boris Diaw, and damn, I don't remember who else was, because they were small too. That's the thing, they were small to match them. Yeah, the lineup on the floor at that moment was Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Boris Diaw, Danny Green. I can't remember the 5th right now. That's how I'm actually going blank.
So Boris Diaw was a better choice for Tim Duncan.
Well, because Boris Diaw I think he was probably a bit more agile on the perimeter, was the thinking. And it worked, because what Popovich did worked. LeBron missed that 3. They were able to cover that screen action that they ran. Right. So Tim Duncan, but my point with that was Tim Duncan wouldn't have been.
Yeah, I'd wait for your breakdown because
it was really interesting when I looked at it, because I was like, yo, this was All right, so we're going to go ahead and transition back to the current day, because this is something me and you talked about off camera, and I remember you felt some type of way about it. So the question's asking, the hypothetical, if Milwaukee were to beat Golden State in the finals, would Giannis already, Well, Giannis already be in contention for the GOAT. That's not what we're discussing, because that would not make him the GOAT. But we're going to take that in a different direction. And what would that do for him, though? Because you realize that would be an MVP, probably a Finals MVP, and beating the dynasty all in the same year.
I don't think you have that title as the best player in the league.
Really?
Just automatically.
Yeah, because
Automatic.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, because the whole... Yeah, it depends on how he plays, too.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let me...
all out, and was this with KD or without KD?
I mean, I guess he's probably with KD.
With KD, of course.
Yeah.
But LeBron couldn't beat KD with Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm not hopeful for this, because I'm sitting here thinking, like, LeBron got this done once, but he could never even get close when they had KD.
Yeah.
And, like, Giannis is not...
get, like, what? Gentleman sweeps.
Yeah. And Giannis is not LeBron. Even though the team is probably...
And LeBron do got an outside shot.
Yeah, and the team is a little bit different, but, like, I'm not counting on Milwaukee. I'm not counting on the lesser version of LeBron to get this done. I'm not counting on him to get this done. So, yeah, no, it wouldn't even put him in contention for the GOAT. But what would it? So you said best player of the league. But what does it do for? But what does it do for like his all time, though? If that does happen, because clearly that's crazy.
Will he have a resume now? I think prior to season he had no resume. Yeah, he got something on his belt. I got an MVP. I might get Defensive Player of the Year, and I beat this juggernaut of a team.
Yeah, no, that would.
So that's a great way to start your campaign.
Yeah, you start with that. I think you probably
you jumping a couple people already probably.
Yeah, and that's a great way for him to end up top 10 all time one day.
Absolutely, but not like
nah. Yeah,
you better than LeBron and Jordan.
Yeah, nah, you can't be the GOAT off of this one thing. He is
the best player in the league if that happens.
Right. It's crazy to think about how many of today's players are going to end up top 10 all the time, though. Like, but in 15, 20 years, this whole time.
How many players in the league that have that type of...
Well, KD potential can end up top 10 all time one day.
KD, Curry,
Steph, LeBron already is there.
Giannis
has that potential.
It depends how this postseason.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on a lot, but I'm saying like one day, like he.
I just think it's 3 people, man.
I mean, that's already 4 if you count.
What's 4?
Yeah, okay, so LeBron is already there.
I'm talking about this now, like as of right now.
No, I'm saying to be. Oh wait, no. Only top 10 right now is LeBron.
What to have potential today? Like I ain't talking about how this postseason.
Okay, yeah,
right.
Potential today.
Curry, KD,
Steph, KD.
LeBron. That's it.
Yeah, I guess it's a little bit early for Giannis. He got to put more
you got to see
on
how he might get eliminated. He might lose 2 straight games.
You sure we're not forgetting somebody? Because I swear I had this conversation and it was like
Kawhi Leonard,
Yeah, not top 10. I mean,
it's only LeBron,
not top 10.
James,
Yeah, because top 10 is something different. Top 10, you got to be decorated.
Breed,
yeah, you got to be decorated.
That's a different breed.
I think most people feel like for KD to be top 10, though, he had to win a championship outside Golden State.
Of course, but I just believe, based on his projection, he's still a top 10 caliber player.
So even if, let's say he won 5 championships in Golden State, would that put him in top 10? Because he would probably have Finals MVP for all those.
Yeah. Fair.
Because you can't just keep denying somebody forever.
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult.
I'm my 7th championship. But still, though.
Yeah,
you can't be doing all that.
Because I think the underrated part of this becomes, and this is why I've gained so much respect for Golden State this run. Underrated part is like how hard it is to do this every single year, like regardless of the team you have, how regardless it is to keep the focus.
That's why it's only been the Celtics in the '60s that did this.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very tiring, man.
Yeah, I actually forgot to bring that up when we were talking about the Blazers series earlier. Is the respect I think Golden State should have probably earned on this run, because without Kevin Durant, you know how easy, especially like I said, they blown 3 17-point leads.
Yeah.
Like how easy would it have been to just fold in some of those games? They just say, we don't feel like it. Like we won so many times already. Steph, you got multiple injuries. How easy would it to be like we're just gonna get them next time? But no,
I just think
it's a sweep.
I think it's KD greatness overshadowed the.
You're right. Yeah. Over these last few years, it has.
He's too great, so you just assume it's all KD.
Since it was coming up on, you got something to say?
Nah.
Okay. Since it was coming up on Twitter, we can ask here. This is a funny conversation. It's like people were basically fighting for who gave Golden State the best fight. Like Patrick Beverley tweeted, like we gave them the best series or whatever. Who do you think gave them the best series? Because I thought it was.
Who they played already?
They played the Clippers, Houston, and the Blazers. And Patrick Beverley proclaimed, we gave them the best series. Don't at me, basically. Which is funny because it's like, we lost to them the best. But still, though, like that was his thing.
To be honest, I would go with Clippers.
Houston gave them the best series.
Oh, man.
Houston gave them the best series.
I look at them different after they lost 2 without KD.
Yeah,
but
soundly,
like it wasn't even
pretty much every game they lost, wasn't it within like something crazy,
care,
like
man.
5 points? I mean, the Clippers got blown out a couple times.
But they had no expectations.
Yeah, they had no expectations. So I guess that's...
And the fact that you had KD getting riled up and fouled out, very entertaining.
I think factually, though, Houston gave
Factually, Rockets, but
yeah,
when I remember the whole series in total...
I mean, we could talk about who gave like a more respectful fight. I would say Clippers, because, again, no expectations. That one game
one loss in... One legitimate sweep, one loss in 6 games.
Yeah. And the Clippers lost in 6 games, too.
Remember, oh, really?
Yeah, because remember they came back from down 30.
Oh, yeah, with Clippers. I ain't trying to hell this, man.
No, okay, but check it out. They were both 6-game series, right?
Okay.
We established that. The loss margin, though, again, a lot of the Clippers' losses were blowouts. The Rockets was like right there at the end of every single game.
Didn't Clippers blow out Warriors?
Did they blow out the Warriors?
Yeah, right.
They came back from that 30-point deficit.
That's a blowout to me.
You're not saying they came back from that 30.
That's good. That's a blowout to me.
Ain't no blowout.
Yeah, it is.
Huh?
If I could come back on that run, what was the time?
Yeah, it was like something crazy, like 7
minutes. That's historic.
That was historic. I woke up, I was dumbfounded. I woke up from
I woke up like, huh?
Yeah, my phone had like 20 notifications. I was like, I felt comfortable enough to go to sleep. Like, it was down by like 30 in the like end of the
Okay, I give you the Rockets, but in my personal opinion, I just feel like Clippers.
Right. Did you see that? I mean, it's just... They said that the Clippers have emerged as like an equal chance as the Knicks to sign KD. You saw that report came out yesterday. I don't know where they get that from, where the sources come from on that, but apparently...
I see Kawhi Leonard, but I like KD.
Really?
I don't know. It fits Kawhi Leonard better.
Yeah. I'll be glad when KD signs somewhere.
Low-key, what all-time great caliber want to wear Clippers?
I mean, Clippers is different now these days, though. They rebuilding that brand, man. They got a good coach. They got good players now.
I don't care.
The Lakers are the one that look like a joke now.
Care,
like,
I don't care.
Speaking, I guess we can talk about that for whatever. I mean, this is off court, but you saw Magic's interview.
Seattle need a team, man.
Huh?
Seattle need a team.
They do need a team.
Yeah, they Clippers. Man. Go.
No. Oh yeah. I forgot you were a Lakers fan.
Laker, baby.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So what do you think about what Magic just did to y'all the other day? Then, because he came out and like he put it
sabotage everything, man.
He came out and put it all on the table, pull receipts and everything.
Sabotage.
Called people by their names. Told Jeannie Buss to tighten up.
Well, it made Rob Pelinka look like a snake.
Yeah.
And indirectly make Kobe like a snake, even though he's a black mamba.
Yeah,
I don't know where that narrative came from.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
The fact that that's Kobe people, that's his former manager.
See, that's what my dad has been questioning. My dad's been asking me about that, like, because he heard that part where Magic said Rob probably get his power from Kobe.
Yeah, see, it's like, first of all, Magic did it all wrong. First of all, again, you made Rob blinking like a snake, and that Kobe's involved. Like,
I didn't take it as Kobe
because I want to buy the Lakers. You had Jenny looked like she incompetently, like she must be.
I think most people feel that way though.
But I'm saying, make it like she must have advice, like she can't make fine decisions.
Yeah, no. The thing is, like,
who the fuck is Linda Rambis? Like, where does her credentials? Kurt Rambis was not a good coach anyway. So, like, why are you asking these?
Going off on the whole organization.
But I'm saying, why are you getting advice from these people? I don't know. Remember, it was said Tim Harris from the business side.
I didn't even know who Tim Harris was. Honestly, you know who Tim Harris is?
No.
I don't know who this guy is.
I guess he's on the business side, on the business operation. Why are you getting advice for some suit, man?
Yeah, I could see why Magic was frustrated because he asked her up front. He was like, "Am I gonna have power to make decisions?" And then like you bring all these other people to the table. I mean, pretty
much you're like, "Yo, who is this man?
Right,
man, who is this guy?"
Now Magic did get caught up in basically a lie, though.
Yeah, he did.
Because he said that like he told them he wouldn't be able to drop his businesses or whatever.
Right.
But there's a video of when he first became the Lakers president saying like he loved Jeannie and the Lakers so much that he has other people that can run his businesses. And that
also
so that
in the exit interview, I might be wrong, but in the exit interview when he was stepping down, he was implying that he didn't want to fire Phil Jackson, but he wanted.
You mean Luke Walton?
Yeah, Luke Walton. That's what came off when I read. I gotta go back, maybe.
Yeah, I could go back and that too.
And he started tearing up and stuff. I was like,
yeah.
It seemed like they wanted him to do something, but he didn't feel comfortable doing like a decision making.
Well, I think that if I can remember correctly, the whole thing with Luke Walton was that he didn't want to do that to Jeannie. Is because she loved him so much.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
but you know he was personally like, I can't.
Nah. But you know what doesn't make sense about this whole thing?
Right.
It's like they asked him about this, like he left and then they fired Luke anyways.
Yes, I don't know.
And then
they fired Luke and
well they didn't fire. They mutually agreed.
Whatever.
Slide.
You know what I mean? It's best that you slide.
Yeah.
Don't get out of my house, but it's best that you slide.
But the whole thing Magic was saying was like, I wanted a new coach, and then but everyone else was like, nah, don't fire him. But then he left, and then now they got a new coach, and it's not even the one they wanted.
Yeah, again, it does look crazy because it seemed like Jenny can't think for herself. She got too many advisors.
Yeah, and this whole thing is like maybe she's not cut out for it, but the whole thing is like, look. I don't know where the expectations come from with Jeannie. This was Dr. Buss's stuff. This was his.
Well, she's inherited. So.
Yeah, exactly. That don't mean she's gonna be great at it. Like I don't. Yeah, just because the name is Buss. Like I don't understand like where these expectations even come from.
Well,
like
I'd rather have her than the son with Jim Buss.
Now the interesting thing about this though is because I follow some like credentialed people on Twitter, and they're of the opinion that. The Lakers business is all out there, but a lot of teams have these type of problems anyways. They just don't come out there. So does this actually affect their free agency problems? Because stuff goes down. When you pull a curtain back, stuff is like this for a lot of teams probably.
Yeah, but the fact that it's public now.
Yeah, it's public. You think that'll affect some players'
decisions? It does. First of all, I don't think LeBron cared for Frank Vogel at all.
Yeah,
I think he went to the press conference to show face.
Hey, Jason,
because if you don't show up, then they're like, "Oh, he don't support. He didn't show up to the press conference."
Right. Hey, did you see that question they asked Frank Vogel too? They were like, crazy. You were like the last option. They didn't get the coach even wanted.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yo, that was disrespectful.
He was looking like, with a smile on his face.
That was disrespectful as fuck. He was like,
I think I know that report. I think the ESPN he be on ESPN.
He was like, what went wrong? Like, that's
so it was wrong. I know you wasn't the first option, so we had to settle for you. So.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah, but I don't know. It makes GD Buss incompetent to lead. It makes Rob Pelinka like he had intentions of getting rid of. I don't know. Again, if the agreement was, I'm gonna be your figurehead, but I still got my late Dodgers. I still got business. I can't be in the office every day. If that was established, but you still got homeboy Rob Pelinka, making side comments. I guess you're like, who are you besides the agent? Like, what is your credential? I guess he's for like, the ego thing.
But one thing, this is the other part that it makes sense. This will make Rob Pelinka look worse. The way Magic told the story was he told them he was going to be there for 3 years, and then he was grooming Rob Pelinka for that position. What? So like Rob was trying to get him up out of there anyways. So like, but you was going to have the position either anyway. So is he their president now? Who's the team president for the Lakers now?
I think Rob Pelinka is the de facto leader.
Yeah, because I never even
he's it without the title. Right. Because to my understanding, they didn't have that position prior to Magic Johnson, basketball operation president.
I see.
So they made it. Magic pretty much was the figurehead at the end of the day.
Right.
I think Rob Pelinka making all the moves, or Linda Paramus, or Kurt Rambis. It's just too many people in her head.
Yeah. And that's what Magic said. I mean. Yeah.
Why we having 3 minutes about finding Luke Walton? Why you having 3 meetings? Like, what the what?
Yeah, because Magic said I brought a list and I was like, this is what it is. We gotta find somebody else. And
why you having 3 minutes to fire Luke Walton? Like come on, that's crazy.
That is. I do. So like, I can't remember who said that on Twitter about every team has these type of problems. But I think it doesn't help that the Lakers. First of all, it's been a circus anyways for like the last few months, and now this is all out in the business.
Another thing you got. One of the greatest players in the last prime of their years.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I keep saying. That's why I can't wait to get to free agency because I'm just curious to see where these players' minds are at.
Right.
Because
I don't see Kawhi Leonard want to be in that drama.
Yeah, because Kawhi don't care for drama at all. But I can't tell what Kawhi.
He saw the video like, what do you do for now?
Yeah, he's
doing
Game 3. He said, I'm going to Toronto for Game 3. Kawhi Leonard just
he looked like he trying to trap him a little bit. Like, he gonna trap me like that.
Hey, funniest part about that video was Kawhi wanted to laugh, but he didn't want to get memed again because he was like, huh. Like he just like
going to Toronto for Game 3. What you trying to do? Man?
I love because he's the most unintentionally funny guy in the NBA. Like, you saw the video with the reporter, Oriental reporter last night, and she asked him what do you want to say to the people, and he said ni hao and walked away. That's like hi in Japan or whatever. You didn't see that video. It was funny. Kawhi is just funny as hell.
The only thing I can think. Okay, last topic I talk about is system players.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
What's your definition of a system player?
System player is just guys that they wouldn't be as good. They're benefiting from this. Okay, this is the confusing part, right? Because this is where everyone comes back and says everyone is technically benefiting from a system, right? Or they're shaped to their system. But okay, it's a guy that that if he was on another team, he wouldn't be this hot.
To my understanding, is system player is another term for a real good role player.
Mm-hmm. That's what you think?
I'm asking. Cause role player to me is our system player.
That might be fair because people were saying, and I think, maybe even through this playoffs, I think Draymond has probably gotten rid of the tag of system player.
Because Ward's playing a system, course they playing a system. Mm-hmm. He's great at that system.
Yeah, and the thing with Draymond is like he's shown some things now that is like, yo, that's gonna be there regardless of what team he's on. The hustle, the leadership that he displays sometimes.
Fast breaks.
I think sometimes you can caught up and say like, oh yeah, he has a lot of assists because he's passing to Steph and Clay, but he's literally like, I'm not saying he's gonna be.
I watched the same. I saw the same game closely. Like, he was just the heart of that. Man.
And okay, of course, just like he said this a couple of years ago. Like, of course, if you play with Steph and he can't make you better, you just suck. So like, of course, Steph makes him better. And Clay, I even think that if you had him on a different team, maybe he wouldn't be an All-Star. It would be more difficult for him to be an All-Star. But I think like some of this is proved since KD has went down, and he's been doing this since before KD came.
Right. So he pretty much killed that narrative.
Yeah, he could add value to a team regardless. Absolutely. Yeah. Like I'll take Draymond on my team right now. Like if y'all don't want him because he can't shoot, like he shoot like he got a backpack on, whatever. I'll take him, man. Whatever. Hey, I'll deal with it, fam.
He shoot like he got like a backpack.
I'll take it though.
Like you go past the court. Hey, home, get a shot up.
Yeah.
Backpack on. Yeah, that's crazy.
You saw like the leadership he displayed with Jordan Bell after he missed that dunk. See things like that. Look, I will take Draymond on my team. But the system player thing is interesting because you remember back in the day they used to call Kawhi Leonard the system player, and now the people who were wrong about that are saying, well, he was a system player, but he improved. That's what they say about Kawhi now. And because I remember back,
it's not wrong with being a system player and improving. It's nothing wrong being a. I remember they're talking about if you put Paul George with the Spurs.
Oh yeah,
I think Katie said that, something like that.
Yeah, and at that time I think that was true. At the time, Paul George was better than Kawhi Leonard was, and at the time, did Kevin Durant call Kawhi a system player in that?
Yeah, I think he did. It was KD was arguing with a fan or something.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he called Kawhi a system player.
If you put PG there, yeah.
And that was the year 2014. Okay, we can at least clear that up. In 2014, Paul George was better than Kawhi Leonard.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Kawhi wasn't there yet. His offense has improved drastically. He's showing that he can lead a team now.
Right.
Things have changed. But was Kawhi Leonard ever a system player though?
Yeah, I think his early years with the Spurs, probably a year where he got Finals MVP.
When he what?
Finals MVP. I think he's still considered a system player.
That's crazy. System player winning Finals MVP. But the Finals MVP sometimes that tag can be overrated because I try to remind people that in 2013, if the Spurs would have won, Danny Green probably would have won Finals MVP because that was the year he set a record on the 3-pointer.
That was a nasty ass.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's only for the final game, not the whole playoffs.
I mean, you can't have both. You can't have both.
I know, but the fact that it comes down to the final specifically for the MVP,
right?
But that means you didn't show up.
Right.
I got you. It's cool. I got it.
Yeah. Because I gotten questions in my inbox sometimes. People asking like, should they have like a award for this? Like, start separating awards, like best player award, MVP, then like playoffs MVP. But I don't know.
People should be looking crazy. They
just throwing shit up there for. I don't get how you would really do a playoffs MVP though, because somebody could be really good and losing like the second round, and they averages are inflated because they didn't play as much.
Yeah. That one's. But I do. It should be a comeback award.
What do you mean?
Someone that was great fell off, but
they have that for players who got injured, right? Don't they have that? Didn't Paul George get like, or is that not NBA
like the Derrick Rose caliber where they was the MVP, so they can't have most improved player anymore.
Oh, but like comeback, yeah. I think they have. The NBA doesn't have that. Somebody gives that award because Paul George got it.
I want something that be a basketball reference.
You don't want no magazine award.
I want something that be a basketball reference.
Right, yeah. Because Derrick Rose, like. This year, there were people asking about like improvement, the improved award for him or sixth man of the year. Yeah, and D Rose has had.
Did you make your predictions yet?
For all the awards? Yeah. I have not made all my predictions yet. Sixth man of the year, we already know it's going to be Lou Will.
What's more hard for me is all NBA teams.
That's the difficult one. I never even
That's
really
super
like.
Hard, man.
I would have to sit down and pencil those. Those are more difficult, but sixth man is going to be Lou Williams. Montrezl Harrell played really well too, but it's going to be Lou. Yeah, Lou is it's
most
Lou.
improved part Pascal.
Siakam. Yeah. I would rookie of the year is obviously Luka. They try and give it a Trey sometimes, but it's
defensive player of the year is kind of tricky because defensive player of the year.
I think Paul George is probably going to get that.
Yeah. MVP, I think is pretty much
Yes, Giannis.
I got a question. Is the ballots already done, right?
They're voting. Done. I'm pretty sure they're done. Yeah. Because like it done nothing in the playoffs counts for those awards.
But like the voters are they submit their votes.
I believe so. Okay. Yeah.
But why do they show the results if you have the award show?
Well, no, they don't show them.
No, why they show like remember I remember you posted something where these reported voted Giannis.
Okay, no, that was based off of something from like last year, I believe, or like I can't remember exactly what it was, but it wasn't their votes for this year.
Oh, so it's not public yet.
It's not public, but I think from the way that maybe it was like mid-season or something. I can't remember what it was, but it was some kind of good evidence that Giannis already has won it, and rightfully so. Like, look, I'm good. Like,
ain't a shocker if
I know people really wanted Harden, and there was a compelling case, but like this is just what it is. I think like people get frustrated over the MVP race every year. But it's like that just shows how talented the league is. That sometimes there's multiple players that can get it.
Yeah.
But people they get really frustrated. Like Rockets fans are really mad that James Harden's not going to get it this year after what he did and keeping them relevant, even though they started slow.
But it is. I know all y'all already did a video about the NBA awards show, and it looks crazy when you see how they play in the playoffs and who's eliminated. And you show it after. Like,
that's a marketing thing for the NBA.
But is it possible? Can they push the playoffs start late June? I mean, can they push the start date for the playoffs later to have the award show in between?
That wouldn't. I don't think you would want that because like players in like competitive mode and like they all got to sit down and like accept awards before the playoffs. But what
I'm saying is they were getting awards prior.
Well, no, it was happening during the playoffs. That was the beautiful part about it.
It is
because like you remember when Hakeem got that, David Robinson got MVP and Hakeem came out and worked him for that. Yeah. See, that was like I hate this. I hate the award show with all my heart. Yeah, I catch the highlights of the award show on Twitter. Like by then I'm ready for free. I don't care who I don't care. Yeah. I care about the MVP. Like we'll care about it for like years to come. But like after this,
I got a question. I asked on Twitter, but I ain't think seen it. Would you trade Hayward for Conley?
Hayward for Conley?
Yeah.
It depends on what happens with Kyrie.
I'm saying Kyrie leaves.
I mean that wouldn't even work, would it? Dude, Hayward's on like a.
Ain't Conley got like another? He got a couple years on his contract.
Just a straight up deal. How old is Conley now?
Wrong side of 30 with injuries.
I mean, first of all, Memphis would never do that. I would never.
No, to add context, you add the 14th pick with it.
Yeah, and then it depends on what happens with Kyrie. No, we
all know Kyrie Slaughter. Right?
My thing with the Celtics is I'm on a youthful movement. Honestly, I don't understand. I don't understand like what would be the point of getting Conley right now because Kyrie leave us. It's kind of like we're looking towards the future a little bit because we're not going to get Anthony Davis without Kyrie.
Not at all.
I'm pretty sure we know that the Celtics team without a star is not a championship team, regardless of what they did last year. East was different back then. East was different.
So pretty much, y'all not really looking at free agency like top tier players right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I wonder what Danny is cooking up. I wonder what he's cooking up because, like I said, a move for like Mike Conley. That's what you do when you're like Toronto tried. They tried to slide Lowry for Conley because they're right there. But like when you're like Boston and it's like okay, you're starting to look like who's gonna lead the team for the future and stuff. I don't think Conley really makes sense at all for us. Right. But the Hayward contract does keep me up at night because I'm like, we paid him as a star and he broke his shit on the first day. Yeah. Like
hopefully he might have a turnaround season.
Yeah, it's not over yet for him. When we saw Paul George break his leg and thing with PG, like he recovered. It seemed like he recovered faster, but it's also he came back to Indiana where like he was the guy, so he got to take all the shots basically. Yeah. His field goal percentage was trash. People might not remember that when he first came back.
Like low 40s.
Yeah, it was garbage, but it took him a while to get to where he is now. So Hayward is he's not done yet, but I don't know. We'll see what happens with him next year if he's still going to come off the bench or whatever.
Right.
And all right, so yeah, we basically had an hour. I was just looking for some more questions, but yeah, that like I said, these hours always go really fast. So that is going to be the end of the podcast for this week. You can go ahead and give an outro if you have anything left to say. Speak now or forever. Hold your peace.
Yo, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. It's my last name, CILENCIER. And after that, just add the social media account I'm on. So it's IG or tweet or Snap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the social media handles will be better done this week. I'm gonna have a graphic on the screen so you guys can see both of all our stuff. It'd be way easier to actually find us this week. And
right.
Yeah, we are done here. So hit the like button, comment, and sub if you enjoyed, and hit the bell next to the channel name if you want notifications when we drop this every weekend. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.